Hi Algebra 1, we're about to start our last section for quadratics. We will actually be learning the quadratic formula, and we wanted to just get you started on the formula because it does take a while to plug everything in. So if you take a look here, we have our quadratic formula, and I wrote it here for you. And the first thing you're going to notice is we have some B's, we have A's, and we have C's, so A, B, and C. So the biggest question is, where do they come from? You're going to use this equation to solve quadratics. You can also use it to find zeros and then to graph quadratics. If you take a look at the standard form of a quadratic equation, remember we always set it equal to 0. And at first we learned how to graph by factoring, and then we isolated and completed the square. So this is just another way to solve. This will work for any quadratic. When you have the quadratic in standard form, you're going to have the x squared first, then the x, and then the constant number. The coefficient of x squared, whatever number is right here in front of x squared, that is your a. Whatever number is multiplied by your x is the b, and the constant number is the c. So your first challenge when you're doing the quadratic formula is to figure out a, b, and c. So I'll show you a couple, and then I have a few checkpoints for you to try on your own. The first thing you have to do is make sure the equation equals 0. So for number 1, we have that. We're going to look for what's in front of x squared, and that would be our a. So a is 3. Then we look for what's in front of x, and that's -4. The negative does go with it. And then we look for the constant, and that's c. So as long as it's set equal to 0 and it's in standard form, we can just look at it and pick out a, b, and c. Remember the negatives, and if you look at number 2, remember there's a 1 here in front of the x squared. So a equals 1. And if we look at b, b is 3. And I just noticed this was not set equal to 0, so let's go ahead and add 4. X squared plus 3x plus 4 equals 0. So now c equals 4. I also want you to notice that when I'm writing a, b, and c, I do not write x or x squared with it. A, b, and c are just numbers. They are not variables. If you take a look at this third one, it does equal 0. So I look for what's in front of x squared, and that's a. So a equals 5. Now you're going to notice there is no x. That's because the number in front of x must have been 0. 0 times x is 0, and so we're not going to see it. So b must have been 0. And then c is the constant number, -11. And that came from right there. So I have 2 checkpoints that I'd like for you to try, number 4 and number 5. You could write them down, pause the video if you need to, and to tell me what is A, B, and C for each of those problems. And we'll check them tomorrow.